Welcome back to the garage. We're working on the KLX here, and we are taking the wiring harness apart to get rid of stuff that we don't need. We'll be taking out stuff like the flasher, turn signal wires, more turn signal wires back here, and we're going to be taking out all the interlock stuff. So what we're going to do is eliminate all that. We're going to have the starter solenoid hook basically straight up to the push button up there. So it will start regardless whether it's in gear, out of gear, clutch in, stand up, doesn't matter. Well, I won't bore you. I'm going to start unwrapping wires. And once we get in there, we'll start tracking stuff down. I would also like to hook up the turn signal switch to my heated grips, like I did on the KLR. The diode assembly, it's coming completely out. Let's track it back to here. All right, we had a ground coming from the diode that had a bullet connector for whatever reason on the ground, so we'll cut it back too. I completely eliminated everything from that ground wire, so we can probably take it out. We'll bring it over, get it out of the way. A lot of those wires went to this junction here, so we'll snip it, bring it over. And then these 4 wires would run to various switches up front that we're going to get rid of. So we'll cut that. That gets rid of that. All of this can be eliminated from the main harness. That leaves you just a few. Well, there's even more stuff to come out there because these 2 are turn signal wires. So here's another couple of wires that went to, I think these 2 wires went to the side stand switch. So that doesn't leave much left. We've got the power wire that goes to this fuse block, and we have the rear brake light switch over here. That's the only thing left there. So I would say that I would probably combine that into this loom when the time comes and just have one loom going over the engine. I traced down one of the wires going to the safety switch diode assembly, and it goes down to this plug, which I was assuming was the neutral safety switch since it heads down. And as you can see, it's plugged in. We got a neutral light. I did hook a couple of alligator clips, jumper wires up to the battery so we could test stuff. Pull that apart. Neutral light is off. And it did 2 things. It sent a signal to the switch up there and to the interlock. So we should be able to cut this wire here that goes to the diode interlock assembly. Cut that. Take that out of the switch. Interlock wiring has been pretty much all pulled out. So it really simplified the amount that goes across the top of the engine there, along with the turn signal stuff. Now, I've been working on the control switches here because I want to use the turn signal switch for heated grips and a fan override. So I had to isolate the wires for that. Now, the orange wire coming out of the left controller is the center post of the turn signal switch. So the power would come in there, and then depending on whether you're left or right, that would kick on either side. And that came off of the, what did it come off of? That came off the flasher. Now, the other wire on the flasher is a brown wire. That's 12 volt positive. That's where the power come in. So we'll end up tying probably these 2 together. Now, the output side of the turn signal switch is the left and right. The left is the green wire, right is the gray wire. And I also pulled the horn, and it's a black wire. If you want to use, well, if you're keeping your horn, that'll stay hooked up. If not, you can hook that momentary switch for the horn up to something else. Now, I was looking at I wanted to keep the turn signal indicator light working. Even though we're not having turn signals, it's on there. I thought I would put that on to where it would remind me that either the heater grips or the fan relay was on, because this particular switch self-centers each time, and you cancel it by pushing the button, so you can't just look down and see which way that thing is positioned. And I had these two wires isolated. They should have been for the light in the instrument cluster. Well, I couldn't get the light to come on, so I pulled the instrument cluster, and I'm no expert, but I'm thinking not having a bulb in there at all is probably why I wasn't getting a light. So we'll probably going to have to send the wife to O'Reilly's to get a new bulb. Here's my flasher. We don't need that anymore. And now now that we got those wires isolated, we need to figure out the wire for the starter, because right now that's not hooked up. Everything else on this switch, this should still work. I'll double check it, but we don't have any starter hooked up to the actual starter solenoid. So we'll have to run a wire for that, because that was part of the interlock control. Okay, the starter interlock relay was the one that's mounted up right here in between the radiators. So I've got that pulled out. Your blue wire with your control wire hooked to your switches for the side stand, all the safety switches. The black wire goes straight down to the actual starter solenoid, and the yellow wire, it branches off there and controls the coil and the input voltage for the relay, and that comes from the starter button right there. So we basically need to just snip it here and fasten it to the black wire, and that will completely get rid of the relay. Okay, we have the starter solenoid wire fastened up. I checked it. I don't have the battery hooked up. I've got it hooked up with just some jumper wires, but it did. Pushing the starter button there made the solenoid click, so that's good. The next thing I'm doing is taking this relay here, which was mounted back here at the fender. This is the fan relay, and it was mounted all the way at the back when the fans are at the front. So since we took out the start safety relay that's here, I'm going to mount this relay in its place. That will save some wires running forward and back, and just clean up the back there a little bit. So that's just a matter of shortening the wires, and it was in a little rubber boot like this. Will fit right on that prong right there. Fan relay is mounted up in there. If everything works right, this wire is the should control the relay and turn the fan on when you ground this out, because this will be hooked to here, which goes down to the temperature sensor, and it grounds out when it wants the fan to come on. So if I ground this, the fan should come on. Fan's on. So I need to take this wire, hook it to here that goes down to the sensor, but I also want to hook another wire into that. We're going to run it up to the handlebars to where when we hit the left turn signal, it overrides, the fan comes on. All right, we tied the extra wire into the fan assembly here, ran this one up to the front. So if everything's working right, you ground this wire. You hear the fan, it's running. So now we can hook this up to the handlebar controls. And this fitting here hooks up to the switch there, so if the switch grounds out, the fan will come on. Go ahead and test it too with a screwdriver here. Yep, fan runs. I like to have the override switch. That way I can check the fan before I go for a ride to make sure it's not full of dirt, make sure it hadn't shorted out, just to make sure it's going to run when needed. Or if I know I'm going to be on a slow trail, I can go ahead and kick it on ahead of time and just let it be running. I'm happy with the way everything's done back here. Everything should be wired up right. I went ahead and taped it up. We'll, of course, put the airbox in. We'll route everything. All this stuff fits back up on the fender. We'll tuck it in nice. But that certainly cleaned up the area right above the valve cover, which makes it a lot easier to get in there and do valve checks. Well, right now, as far as doing more wiring, we need to concentrate up here, getting the heated grips on and fastening this wire in for the fan. And then we should be able to tidy all this up and go to doing something else. Moved all the wiring back up through here because all of this has to be tucked in behind the headlight. But before we do any of that, I have got to get that brake line rerouted. That is definitely not the way that thing's supposed to go. And of course, they put it right through the middle of this framework. So I've got to disconnect it there and possibly get air in it, but it's got to be moved. All right, we're down to the last little bits of wiring here. I was going to use the turn signal as an indicator for when I had the grips and the fan on, but that's not going to work real well with the way I'm going to wire it. So I'll just get a little piece of black film, cover up the turn signal indicator. I tucked in the wire. I can use it for something else later if I need an indicator. I mean, if the grips are on, I can feel it. If the fan's on and I forget about it, not a big deal. So right now, I need to get the heated grips on the handlebars, and then we can start wiring them in. Now, I don't usually glue grips on anymore because they can't slide off the end because of the tree knockers. And I was hoping these weren't glued on because I wanted to reuse them, and they're not. I usually just put some compressed air under the grip to flare them out, and they'll slide right off. Put them on the same way. So we'll do that to both sides. Now, instead of an actual grip with a heater in it, I use these heating elements that you wrap around the handlebars. Now, there's some stuff you can put on the aluminum bar and then put this on top of it that helps insulate it like the throttle sleeve on the other side does. But I found out just putting it straight on there still puts out plenty of heat. So I just usually wrap this straight onto the aluminum handlebar and onto the sleeve on the other side. Okay, clean your bar off good with some solvent. Peel your backing off your element. Position it to where the wires are going where you want them. On and wrap it around. Our wires are going to run just like this. Should keep them out of harm's way. Now we can put the grip back on there. I shot just a little bit of glass cleaner on there to help lube it up. And then slide it the last little bit, and it's on there. Now I just need to repeat the same thing on the other side. The only difference is it's going on the throttle sleeve. You want to make sure to position your wires to where they'll clear as you open and close the throttle. And wires run along there. Put a little piece of tape to hold them to the clutch line. Did the throttle over there. And come down into the headlight area here. Take one wire off each one, tie them together, and run it to ground. Doesn't matter which wire off each side because it just makes a circuit through the heating element. So current can go either way. Just tie those two together and then fasten it to the ground. I'm going to ground off this grounding block here that we had left over from some of the other stuff. So we'll splice that in. We'll hook the other two up and hook them to the turn signal switch. Okay, we got the ground for the grip heaters hooked up. So now we're going to hook the power line through the turn signal switch. Now, the turn signal switch originally has power coming in the center connection, and then power would go out left or go out right, whichever way you were doing your turn signal. We're going to hook it up backwards. We're going to take your 12-volt power, and instead of hooking it to the center post like power normally would run into the turn signal switch, we are going to hook it to the right-hand terminal. That way, when you turn the turn signal to the right-hand side, power will flow from that terminal to the center. And then we'll hook the center post up to the wires for the hand grips. And I'll explain in a second why we're doing it that way. Yeah, I tied the wire from the center of the turn signal switch onto the two power wires for the grip heaters. So that's set up, the last connection. And if you buy I usually just buy replacement heater elements because that's all I need. If you buy a kit, it will also have a ceramic resistor, a little white resistor. You can hook that into the power wire. You'll have one power wire running straight, a two-position switch, and then the other power wire would run through the resistor. That way you would have high and low power for the grips. But the resistor is just burning up the rest of your current instead of sending it to the heated grips. The thing gets hot even though it's ceramic, and I found I can run them full blast all the time. I mean, if my hands are getting hot, if you literally lift your hands off of it for just a second, it'll cool right down, or just toggle the switch on and off every once in a while. So I didn't see the need to run the extra wiring and then have that hot resistor in the wiring system. So the last thing we have to hook up here is the ground wire to the fan. And it is this wire here, and we're going to hook it to the left turn signal switch. And that's why I didn't run power to the center of the turn signal switch, because if you did that, you'd go to left and right. Yeah, it would run the heated grips, but then instead of grounding the system for the fan, it would be putting power to it, which wouldn't work. Now, the way this will be hooked up is that it will ground the fan relay actually through the heated grips, because they're just a heating element that goes to ground. When you're putting power through it, the heating element warms up, but enough current flows through there to activate the relay, just flowing through them without putting out any heat. So that's how I usually hook them up. That's how I've got it on the KLR. Works great. So hook these two wires together and we'll pretty much be done with the wiring. Okay, that last wire's hooked up. Let's turn the power on. Now, if I turn to a left turn signal, that should kick my fan on. So let's watch. Yep, fan's running. And right turn signal should kick on the heated grips. And I saw the neutral light dim down a little bit, so it's pulling power somewhere. Now hopefully my two alligator clips down there will hold enough current to heat the grips up. Yeah, they're not getting warm, so we'll let that set for a little bit and see if we got some grip heat. All right, let's check it. Oh yeah, grips are very much heating up. Fan still works. We're good. All right, that's all for the wiring. The rest of it is basically just when I go to reassembling the bike, tucking everything back in place. But all the connections are done. Everything works. And we got a pile of stuff that came out of it. Next video, probably be working on taking a look at the carburetor, getting that put on, fixing the airbox, putting that back on, just basically reassembling the bike. So be watching for that. I'll see you then.